This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. As everyone knows, the state of California is a very Democrat state, and I know this is a surprise to absolutely nobody. Yeah, California's voted Democrat for years now. Now, in 2024, it did get a bit closer. For Democrat standards, Harris did awful here, but still, she won by over 20 points. And yes, it is slightly more Republican down ballot, but when you think of California, you think of a Democrat stronghold that no matter what happens, it's going to vote Democrat. It's going to vote blue no matter who. Yet, there was a serious chance that later this year, the state of California could have ended up with a Republican governor. And I know that sounds crazy, but for those that live under a rock, the state of California has a jungle primary system, which means no matter who the top two candidates are in the primary, it can be two Republicans, two Democrats, two independents. It doesn't matter. Whoever takes first and second moves on to the general. And well, look at the polling. Look at this. Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, they have consistently been in either first or second place. And not just by 1 point in one poll. These are decent margins, especially when you have like 20 Democrats running. They're all getting 5 to 12% of the vote. Really no clear front runner. Meanwhile, for Republicans, they only have two major candidates. And they have done a very good job at splitting the vote evenly. One poll, Bianco's in first. The other poll, Hilton's in first. And it's vice versa. One's in second, the other's in first. That's good because in that scenario, you end up with a Republican versus Republican. You would theoretically, unless something so crazy occurred, end up with a Republican governor. But even then, it was still kind of a long shot for this to occur. But with each passing day, with no Democrat dropping out, no clear frontrunner, just look at this. You have like 4 or 5 major Democrats running. None of them are clear frontrunners. They all are getting like 10% of the vote at most. They all hate each other. This was a golden opportunity for the GOP to actually win California. It really wouldn't change much, but at the bare minimum, can you imagine getting a Republican governor in California? Again, this was still a long shot, but with each passing day, it was getting more and more likely. Like, wait a minute here. These Democrats, they're not surging. They're not united behind one person. They still might, but they weren't. However, despite the fact that this was a golden opportunity for the GOP to potentially flip California, it's not going to go Republican for anything else, but maybe for governor. Despite that, Republicans found a way to screw this up. Just yesterday, it was confirmed that President Trump officially endorsed Steve Hilton for governor. And listen, Steve Hilton is way better on the issues compared to Bianco. I think Steve Hilton would be a good governor, especially for California standards. But seriously, you just blew up a golden opportunity to get a Republican governor in California. Because now, who do you think people are going to vote for? More than likely. Instead of trying to split the vote evenly and Bianco gets 15% of the vote or 16% and Hilton gets 17% or whatever, and in that scenario, they both would advance. Instead, you endorse Hilton, and now a bunch of Republican voters, more than likely, they're not going to vote for Hilton when they probably were going to vote for Bianco. Like, I don't get why Trump intervened here. This was stupid. It's not like we're talking about Arizona or Nevada, some swing state. This is California. And it has such a screwy system that the only way to win is by locking Democrats out of the general. But Trump, for whatever reason, decided to endorse Steve Hilton. Why? I get that this was still a long shot. And listen, if this was the general, fine. If this was after the primary and Trump did this, sure. But don't do this before even the primary happened. Like, why? I don't get why Trump did this. This was a bafflingly bad move. I don't know if Trump doesn't realize this. I don't know if his advisors don't know this. Who knows? But seriously, you wasted your endorsement on Hilton before even the general. Like, what are you doing here? And it's confirmed right here. President Trump endorsed former Fox News host Steve Hilton for governor in a overnight Truth Social post, potentially shaking a crowded primary race in which the top two vote getters will advance to the general election. And Trump said, Steve can turn it around before it is too late. And as president, I will help him do so, Trump wrote, referring to what he has characterized as the poor leadership of Governor Gavin Newsom and other Democrats running the state. With federal help and a great governor like Hilton, California can be better than ever before, the president continued. Steve Hilton is my complete and total endorsement. He will be a great governor, and importantly, will never let you down. Again, Hilton is the better choice. I'm not denying that. Hilton is better than Bianco. Bianco has some big problems, especially when it comes to immigration and other stuff. We're talking about California. We're not talking about a Republican state. We're talking about a very Democrat state. D plus 20, D plus 25. And the only way to win, even if you ran just Bianco, he would still lose. The only way to win was ending up with Republicans in first and second place, and that's it. There's no scenario where Bianco would win, even against Katie Porter. He would still lose. It would be a lot closer, sure, but at that point, who cares? Wow, you still lost California by 15 points. Wow, what an accomplishment. I don't get who thought this was a good idea. Did Hilton really tell Trump and convince him that he can win and he just needs his backing? Yeah, in a general, sure. But dude, you potentially screwed up a golden opportunity to flip California. Again, Hilton is better. That's not the issue here. The issue is why do this now? Why do this when it's clear in basically every poll that Bianco or Hilton, they're both in first and second place. And they flip-flop. One's in first, the other's in second. Then one poll, it's the opposite. Why? Why do this? I'm so baffled by this. Like, it came out of nowhere. No rumor, no speculation, nothing. And now Hilton apparently is telling people that Bianco has to drop out. Now, what are you doing? Why would you think this is a good idea? You do understand this is how the primary works, right? It's not a 1v1. It is a jungle primary. It is a mess. So, yeah, this whole primary fiasco, you potentially blew it. Now, is there still a chance that Hilton and Bianco move on? Yeah. There still is that chance. Maybe Hilton, he does better with one of the conservative voters, but then at the same time, Bianco maybe does better with more independents. I guess maybe that's a plan they're trying to do. I have no clue. But why risk it? Why risk it? You needed half of Republicans to vote for Hilton and the other half to vote for Bianco for there to be any chance of this happening. I just don't get it. I really don't get the strategy whatsoever. I mean, why? Again, Chad Bianco, not good on the issues. But seriously? I mean, you have like 20 Democrats running. There's no clear front runner. You have a golden opportunity. Stay out of it. Stay out of the race completely. Because even if you don't say anything, let's just say, oh, Bianco surges with more Republicans or whatever. Even in that scenario, it's a good chance you end up with both Republicans on the top of the ticket. Because Democrats right now, like I said, look at the polling. Does this look like a unified party to you? They all hate each other. Nobody's dropping out. They're all getting shares of the vote. Like, why? Why did Hilton and Trump do this? Somebody probably told Trump, like, hey, we need Hilton to win this primary. but failed to mention that the only way to get a Republican governor in California is by locking Democrats out. This is not a usual primary system. It's not. And yet some people don't understand this. There are plenty of people that really think, oh, it's just a Republican versus Republican primary and a separate Democrat primary. No, in California, it's the top two people, no matter who it is. So, what's the plan here? How does Hilton and Trump, how do they think they're going to win now? This should have been done after the primary. If you want to endorse Hilton, go ahead, but do this after the fact. So in that scenario, you end up with a Republican no matter what. You win. And more than likely, California would probably change the law immediately. They would probably say it's undemocratic or it's a Republican conspiracy or God knows what reason they use. Either way, you had a golden opportunity. You still do, I guess. I mean, we really haven't had any polls ever since Hilton got endorsed. But still, I don't like the strategy. I really don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's stupid. It doesn't help anybody. You just wasted this opportunity. Actually, the more I think about it, there still's a chance Republicans win here. Just because the Democrat field is so fractured, it's a mess. You have no clear frontrunner. Everybody's pulling at like 10% or whatever. And your major candidates include Katie Porter and Tom Steyer and Eric Swalwell. Man, those are some really strong candidates. They all suck. They all have major problems with them. Katie Porter and Steyer especially. It's like, what? Who the Democrats got here? So even with Trump making a bad move in California, Republicans can still pull this off. That's how bad this field really is. I still think this is stupid, and I don't get why Trump did this. If Hilton was in third place and he needs some momentum, fine, I get that. That's a different story. But he was clearly in first or second place in every poll except like one or two. Every other poll, first, second, first, second, first, first, first. Why endorse him now? It was dumb. But despite that, I still think Republicans could pull this off. It would be hilarious if this happens. They would change a law a day after this occurs. They may try to say, nope, it cannot be Republican versus Republican. It has to be one Democrat versus one Republican or something crazy like that. They're going to try to do something dumb like that, I think. We shall see. But so far, this primary is such a mess, and they still have a chance to fail. I should say Democrats do. We shall see what Republicans do. Hopefully, Chad Bianco doesn't really lose any support. Hopefully, goes up a little bit, staying through the Hilton. I hope this really doesn't change anything. If it does, well, this is going to age horribly. If this endorsement causes Bianco to collapse and he takes like third place, in that scenario, you're not winning. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.